Okay, question number 4. So it's a 7-mark question. It involves some graph. So I've got a restricted domain, A, sine, and I've got 2 pieces of information. Therefore, I'm going to solve this simultaneously. I can't use this information in my show. I've got to come up with it. So if I know that f of pi on 2 equals 2, that means that A sine of pi on 2 plus b equals 2. Sine of pi on 2 is 1, so a plus b equals 2. That's equation number 1. And f of 3 pi on 2 equals negative 8. Remembering that 3 pi on 2 is down here, so sine will be negative 1. So that's going to be a times negative 1 plus b equals negative 8. Therefore, minus a plus b equals negative 8. And I can now do simultaneous equations. Adding 1 and 2 together, minus a plus b equals negative 8. 2b equals negative 6. b equals negative 3. Correct? And if a plus b equals 2, a minus 3 equals 2, a equals 5. Done. So that's part A done. Now for the second part, I've got a equals 5, so I've got 5 sine of x minus 3. And the period of that is 2 pi, so I need to draw f of x, and f of x has this restricted domain. So I'm going to have a guiding line at negative 3, which will be my median. And I know that my sine will start at the median, and at 2 pi finish at the median, and we'll go up and down 5. So it's going to go back here. It's going to go up first because it's a positive sign, correct? So up 5 will take me up to 2, and down 5 will take me down to minus 8. And I'll show you up a graph that looks like that. Label the endpoints. I can label that to be pi on 2 and 2. I can label that to be pi on 3, pi on 2 and negative 8. And that confers with the information given. And label the endpoints and the turning points with their coordinates. But I haven't been told to label the x and y intercepts, or the x-intercepts. There's my graph. Now what do I have? State the value of k for which the equation of that graph plus k equals 0. Well, has no solution. So at the moment, if k equals 0, so this k is going to give me up and down movements. So if k equals 0, this is what the graph looks like, and there are 2 solutions. So the graph needs to move down more than 2 units. Therefore, k has to be less than negative 2, union with, it has to move up more than 8 units for it to be above this axis and not have any x-intercepts. Therefore, k is bigger than 8. And find the value of m for which we're now moving sideways equals 0. Okay, so the integral equals 0. And I'm going to move sideways. Only from 0 to pi. So what we're saying here is I want this plus this plus this to equal 0. And I want to find what is the value of m. So how much do I need to move it sideways for that to occur? Okay, so if I was to find, okay, so this m gives me up and down movement. So I've now got the integral from 0 to pi of 5 sine of x minus 3 plus m dx, and that has to equal 0. So I've got 5 cos of x minus 3x plus mx from 0 to pi equaling 0. 5 cos of pi minus 3 pi plus m pi minus 5 cos of 0 plus 0 equals 0. Cos of pi is -1, so minus 5 minus 3 pi plus m pi. Cos of 0 is 1, so minus 5 equals 0. So I've got minus 10 minus 3 pi plus m pi equals 0. M pi equals 3 pi plus 10. M equals 3 pi plus 10 on pi. And that's moving it up that far. And that's going to give you the only answer that's possible.